Hello, everyone.
Just, getting used to the whole thing.
So I just had a really quick chat there with Cameron, which was interesting to hear from the founder's perspective, how important analytics are to him when it comes to sharing investor updates. And that's been really helpful when we've been building out Briefing Room, and has definitely contributed to our change in copy and update in copy and focusing more on the analytics. And Gelb's just showing you here on the screen our most recent landing page. And thank you so much for your feedback so far in the Slack community. That's been really helping us tweak and edit and make sure we're being as concise and as clear as possible, especially when we're talking about the problem and the solution. So we're going to hop on quickly to speak to Ben. He has been, rapid fire doesn't even cover what he's been up to this morning. Yeah. If those of you who were with us first thing this morning when we did our stand-up, you'll have heard him say what he needed to get through, and you could feel where he was with that. And the updates that we've been receiving over the past hour or so have been very exciting, which puts us in really good stead for 4 o'clock. So it maybe has made you feel a little bit better about the 4 o'clock deadline when we're doing our live beta testing.
Yeah,
has it?
Yeah, I think it has. If anyone goes to the product channel on the Slack team, you can see the latest update from Ben. He's kind of been head down, trying to get through things. I've also been trying to create some content, more like complicated content within Briefing Room. So I'm running into some questions, and so I think that'll be really good to kind of talk him through. But haven't had a chance to check his latest changes, or at least go through the whole process. But I'm really looking forward to the 4 o'clock call. I'm still nervous. But
it wouldn't be right if we weren't nervous about launching the product.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't know what we're talking about, at 4 o'clock we're having an open Zoom call, so anything can happen, I guess. But what we want anyone out there listening, whether you're a founder, investor, or someone else, hop on that Zoom call, and you can find the actual call information in our Slack channel, and we're going to then direct you to how to set up an account. And we just want you to go through and tell us what you think. How is it complicated to use? Does it make sense? Are there things that don't work properly? We just want as much feedback as we can get.
Things to bear in mind: you do not need to prepare for that call at all. You don't need to follow it along this week. You don't even need to know what the product is. You don't need to have your video on. You don't even need to speak if you don't want to. You can type through the chat. So if any of those things are barrier to participating, don't let that bother you, and just hop on the Zoom and help us test this product that we've made in 1 week.
Exactly. So while we hang on and wait for Ben to come on, can you maybe just update us in terms of what it is that you were doing this morning?
Yeah, so based off the research that I had done earlier in the week on product hunt launches and what's best for us to kind of take the launch briefing room that we'll have this evening, and then make sure that we can really get that to the core target, which are those early stage founders and investors, which Product Hunt is just an absolutely perfect community to target for early stage adopters. So based off that research, today I've been working on building out a bit more of a detailed project plan with deliverables of what are our targets, what are the actions we need to take now that we have a product in our hands that will be launched, that will be accessible, and what kind of other material and collateral do you and I need to kind of build off the back of this week.
Sure.
So the deliverables will go into this afternoon when I kind of walk through the plan, but essentially what other resources and marketing updates and demos and customer support do we need in place before we can really push that out to Product Hunt and launch there.
Okay, cool. So that'll be still your focus leading into the kind of Product Hunt discussion?
Yeah, so leading up to that, it'll just be making sure that I've got the leads on each particular project. So whether that's you leading on that or whether it's me, and what those deliverables are.
Okay, cool, awesome. I've been working on sending emails out to accelerators and early stage funds with people that we know, just to tell them about this deal that we're running, and also been making landing pages for each of them, trying to also figure out a slight issue with our certificate here, that's been my big focus, and then also getting the draft copy over to you for what our actual homepage is going to look like, which right now is here. So we got to come up with some text to replace this, and then I've also been working on the kind of example content for, so that there's something there when you go to create a room to try and give you some heads up in terms of what kinds of things you can make.
The onboarding content,
Yeah.
right? So you know what to do.
And with that, hello.
Hey, Ben.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very well. You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just talking about receiving your kind of update. It seems like you're flying through things.
Yeah. Well, and as I was making my coffee a couple of hours ago, I realised how I could massively speed up the CSV side of things.
Okay.
Rates are important.
Chart. So which is what I'm working on now, which is why I was pretty bullish with the estimation there in terms of how much time I think I'll need to do it. So I've already got it to the point where it's
Wow.
uploading a CSV. I'm just processing it now, so it stores a cached version of it, and then that's what will drive the chart. So probably another 45 minutes.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
I mean, it's going to be, for now, it's going to be, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, give me a preference, bar or line.
Bar or line? Probably a line, right? Line
Okay,
looks.
so line, it's going to be single series. But actually, I've got plenty of extra time this afternoon. I could make it multi-series. I could have you choose between different chart types, for instance. But
Yeah.
I'll get that version
Yeah.
out of the way first
Sweet.
with the MPP hat on, and then
Awesome.
we can make a decision from that
Cool.
point forwards.
That's great.
Something that I would love to do, and we can think about it next week, is to record that exact 30 seconds that you just did, but do all the different options. So it's our Friday lunchtime check-in with Ben. Did it A, B, or C? There's no way I'm going to get this done. I've got it all finished, or maybe.
Yeah.
Pick your option.
Pick your option. So one thing, actually, I had a question about Ben while I was testing it out. That the builder, the actual builder itself, of the content in the room, there you can rearrange the content in this kind of grid format. And I was running into some trouble trying to trying to figure out. So what I was just wondering is, and it may not be possible, but is it possible to have those three, because it's 3 columns, is it possible just to have kind of 3 columns that you can either put something in 1, 2, or 3 and then arrange the order?
Yeah. Yes, technically, but it's not quite as simple as that, because when you factor in mobile responsiveness, or even mobile responsiveness, just going down from a large screen to smaller to smaller to smaller to smaller to finally mobile, we're essentially collapsing from, we might start off with 3 columns, we might then go down to 2, we might end up with 1.
Yeah, of course.
So, although one can come up with a rule that would say, okay, well, when we go down to 2, it goes, 2 columns, then the third just goes underneath. Like, we wouldn't be able to deliver the precise control that you're talking about, where it's always in column 3. It would change.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's fair. It's more that when I was rearranging them and then trying to look at preview, I wasn't actually seeing them in the same position.
Yeah,
and I think
it is clunky.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things like needing to more visually show what's happening when you do it, as well as maybe create some dotted borders around the sort of the droppable zones.
Right. Okay.
There's a few enhancements there, and it's a little bit clunky as well. It's basically combining 2 libraries, jQuery UI and Twitter Bootstrap.
Interesting.
I know all
Okay.
about jQuery.
And in fact, masonry as well. So there's a few things, this is a technical thing,
Okay.
there's a few things going on there. So yeah, I mean, when I did it the other day, it was just getting
it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of. But yeah, that might be something you'd want me to focus on after the chart. If you wanted me to, I can maybe make that a bit prettier.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll come up with some notes and maybe do a little screencast of what I mean by the kind of how it looks.
Oh, I know what you mean. It's not.
Okay.
I'm experiencing it myself. I just took the decision.
Okay.
Not to
Okay. Cool.
waste time,
Cool.
basically.
All right. Great. All right. So then, aside from the charts, you've gotten our copy, and I'm working on the draft or the holding pattern, the holding data
The
there.
onboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and after that, it's just trying to get anything else that we can. Okay.
I've already built the default data, by the way, as a
Awesome.
technically. So it already, if you go onto the site now, it will already do it.
Oh,
The
brilliant.
Missinglettr demo is one of
Nice.
the
Oh,
sample
okay.
videos there. Just happened to be
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
around that. So it's so literally it's just the technical
Yeah.
side of it is there. I just need to pop in your version,
The content.
title,
That is
the text,
perfect.
the image, whatever it is that you want to pop in there.
That's amazing. All right. Well,
All right.
we'll catch
We'll
up
leave
with
you
you
to it.
later on today.
Cool.
All right.
See you
take
later.
care.
Thanks,
Bye.
Ben.
Bye.
Bye.
We have to recall those 3 different
Holy
calls.
crap.
Record those 3 different calls.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's us. We're gonna jump on to another conversation.
Let me check exactly who it is. We've got Alison up next from
right.
G-Hold, so a great founder story about Alison and the G-Hold journey.
All right.
Seamless
transition here.